Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to Top Tier Talk. We are back with episode 19, match week 33. Nearly there, nearly towards the end, where we can start off with the most boring club in the world, Watford. No, I'm joking, no one cares about Watford, so. But we'll start off with Chelsea. Amir, Chelsea Man City. It seems you've done well in that, what was it, the little playoff just before the UCL final. You've done well there, so what do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, first off, you missed the Real Madrid game. I don't think we spoke about that last week. That was a good win as well. We won 1-0 up, and then the amount of chances we missed, I thought like they're going to score, and then they'll get another one and go through. But obviously, Mason Mount, Money Mace, big man.
The thing is with Real Madrid as well. For some reason, when I was watching that game as well, it just seems to be they weren't on top of it. Nothing they were doing was working. The only player that seems to be putting a shift that game was Benzema, and he wasn't getting the service. He wasn't
two
really
good chances.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's the only player in Real Madrid who could probably keep his head high and just go, "I've done well there." Hazard, shocking. The midfield, shocking. Do you know what I mean? All of them were shocking, and you capitalise on that really well.
It's an Asian team, isn't it, Real Madrid? I think they're going to have to go into like a proper rebuild. I think they've got to sell a few players and stuff. But we were good, and Mason Mount, what a man. And the Man City game, what a result that was. Yeah. Last minute Marcus Alonso. That guy should be a striker. He could not defend to
the flukiest goal, though.
Yeah, exactly. And then Aguero with the Panenka. What was he on? What was he going on there? Like,
awful, yeah.
He misses penalties anyway. They miss a lot of penalties, City. So
I was in shock.
Champions League final goes to penalties then. They're obviously going to win that. But yeah, no, it's been a great end to the season. It's coming. We've got you next, hopefully. We don't
you'll
lose
win
again.
We
lose. Yeah, you never know with you guys. But yeah, I hope it's been Tuchel's just done a madness. I think
he's done well.
If we're doing the season based on the second half, I think he'd win Manager of the Year. I think you boys will probably agree. But we'll see what happens.
David Moyes.
Yeah, there is David Moyes. I'll probably give it to him, but for the whole season. But Tuchel's probably in the running. It'd be like Fernandes. 100%. Do you remember Chavez?
Yeah, when he joined,
he couldn't get into the team this season because it was half a year.
He wasn't. That's the thing. He wasn't team of the season though. He was actually in it.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
I was going on the FIFA one. I didn't even know that, but yeah, but it's good. It's good being a Chelsea fan. So can't complain.
That's probably like the best week in Chelsea history, isn't it? Since like you won the UCL, probably. Just this week has just been.
Yeah, it's been a very good week since probably winning.
You're on top of the world, aren't you? Just makes me so jealous. Like, don't like it.
Buzzing.
Yeah, and hopefully with more investments, we're just going to get better and close the gap.
I've got a question for you, Amir, as a Chelsea fan then. So, as City lost that game against you in the Premier League, do you reckon they'll come back like even stronger and like a will to kind of beat you even more in the Champions League final, or do you reckon it'll just be like a similar kind of game?
No, 100%. They didn't have De Bruyne, they didn't have Gundogan for half the game, Foden, but their main goal is to win the Champions League, and that's Pep's main goal, and it's been like that. They've won the league. They know it was a weak team, but it's going to be so hard against City. But I think we'll come out on top. I think, but they're going to go all guns blazing. They're going to
go out and play at the end of the day.
It's that one trophy they need to be considered the big.
Yeah,
team.
It's like the final Infinity Stone in Man City's Thanos glove.
Exactly.
In the gauntlet, it's just Champions League.
And Pep wants it as well, like just to prove everyone wrong because he hasn't won it without Messi, all that stuff. So we'll see what happens.
I reckon City will win it. Sorry, Amir, but I reckon City will.
We'll do a video.
It'll be a good game.
We'll do a good video.
We'll do another, yeah. Fair enough. All right. Well, Shavez, Man United, another bookie club, but they've re-signed Cavani now for an extra year. What do you think?
Yeah, the last week has actually been just so good for our club. I know Chelsea are on top of the world, but we've done all right as well. That Roma game, I know we lost, but you can only take positives when you go through the tie. De Gea was just 17, 18, David De Gea. He was incredible. For like a solid 5 minutes in that game, we were on the back foot. It looked like Roma could score like 8. And they probably should have, but De Gea was De Gea that night. So had a bit of wind there.
Dan,
Is that not the...
Dan, are you like breathing into your mouth?
Am I?
Sorry.
It's like you're on a plane.
Very possible.
Is it me?
Strong winds coming in.
Nah, I don't think so. I hear it like the little yellow box on my Dan, but yeah, sorry.
So going back to United, so then we went into Aston Villa, which was just a classic United game. Comeback kings as usual. Money Mace, the true Money Mace in the Premier League.
Oh, no.
Courtesy of Troy Deeney as well.
Star boy. I don't want to call him generational. I know that word gets thrown out a lot. I still think Mbappe is the only generational one, but
and Haaland maybe.
Yeah, just
I'd put Haaland on there.
Yeah, but Mbappe's scored in the World Cup final. Which
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I could go off on Mbappe, but we're talking about Villa United,
Yeah.
a Villa team that clearly need Jack Grealish to actually do anything. But again, the penalty, Douglas Luiz, idiot. It's like the third time he's given a penalty away, and it was such a stupid penalty. All around, we were brilliant. Cavani is just we have been missing a striker like him since probably Van Persie. I know Ibrahimovic was there, but his movement, just
Yeah, you can tell he's a proper number 9 striker, can't you?
you want to be a
Cavani?
striker, just watch Cavani videos and you'll learn. You'll think
Yeah.
you're a striker after watching them.
I think you said it. You said it a week or so ago. It's like it's not just him scoring goals. It was like his passing and his build-up play and his movement. Like his all-round play.
That's unheard of. Like, I didn't even know Cavani did that. And against Roma in that first leg, it was just unbelievable. But with us now, it's a matter of just holding on to our players. So Cavani's one, that's done now. Pogba is the next one. And it shows, a player like Cavani staying shows that he believes in what we are going to do next season.
Yeah.
Because he's not generally very happy, I think, in England outside of football. But he's decided to take that leap of faith with us. Next season, when he scores his first goal in front of the fans, he'll know why he made that decision. So be happy with it. I can't wait for it.
Well, it's funny actually because Cavani's among like a few great names at the moment who are like classified as a proper number 9, a striker, like a through and through striker. Like you got the likes of Luis Suarez, Benzema, Suarez. Did I say Suarez? Sorry, Lewandowski.
Yeah,
sorry.
you did.
You might as well
They're
say
dying
Suarez
breed.
again. He's that good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But do you see what I mean? Like a number 9 that
They're a
actually comes
dying breed.
forward and just like asks for the ball instead of trying to look for like run through balls. Do you know what I mean? He's always there to be like basically in the box to do through headers. He's there to like offer the ball for you. He's just like, as I say, like a rare breed of a number 9 true striker. And like as you say, like you look through like the rest of the team in the league. Let's say, for example, City. They haven't got a true number 9. Do you know what I mean? Aguero's kind of off it. Jesus isn't really a number 9. You know, you look at our
It's
team,
not
we haven't got a
that
number 9. Maybe Lacazette, but he's a bit half and half. Do you know what I mean? So Kane, maybe no, but he's like a 10. He plays cam most of the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
So
what I was going to say. Like Premier League teams, if you look at Chelsea against Madrid, they had Werner on the wing and Havertz, who's an attacking mid as like a false 9. You had
Werner
De
again,
Bruyne
he's
plays
not
there
9,
for
is he?
City. That's what I'm saying. He plays on the wing at the minute, and
Exactly.
Havertz, who's their attacking midfielder, was up front. De Bruyne goes up front for City.
Yeah, exactly.
As you said, Kane's plays
More or
as
less
like
a
It's
10.
like a
shadow
running
striker.
out. So it's a breed that's running out. That
Yeah,
true
dying
number
breed.
9. Now you see like the new set of them are like Martial and Mbappe. They're like pacey wingers who play striker. It's just pace now, isn't it? That's what everyone looks for.
Yeah.
That strong centre forward that does everything in that box is kind of running out.
Exactly, but then you can see though for Cavani, for example, though when he does play, he is quality. Like when the ball gets to him, he's not missing. Do you know what I mean? So like, although it is running out, as you say, like a rare breed of number 9s, it is kind of like a breed that's. I do think there should be a few in the future anyway, because like Haaland, he's not.
He's
not
also
really,
a pacey sort of
That's what I'm
powerful
saying.
striker.
There's no
we
like.
need to see him in the Premier, like in a different league. I
agree.
I don't trust the Bundesliga with what it shows us.
Oh, I
think it's a
know.
false image. That league, the defending is just tough.
Yeah, questionable. Joke. But yeah, fair enough. But anything else to add to United's kind of clause at the moment?
No, but if Man City lose 2, draw 1, we could win the Premier League. Just leave you on that.
Against
need to win
Brighton, that's
every
tricky
game.
as well.
Yeah, Newcastle. Who knows? Sandra Shelby might turn up.
Joe Willock.
I had a
Joe
question.
Willock, yeah.
I had a question for you, Shavez. Do you think this Cavani announcement's got anything to do with the whole protest last week? Maybe they're trying to get the fans back on board. Or do you think he was always in the plans to get Cavani for another year?
It was in the plans. I think the timing is one of those where I know people will say this is the Glazers doing this and that, but I think the timing shows Cavani's had such a good 2 weeks that now he's decided that he's going to stay. So I think it's actually different from the Glazers thing, but you never know with these lot. They might say, do you know what? Let's just put pressure on Cavani tonight because the fans are getting pissed off. The sponsors are suffering right now. I don't know if you've seen people are buying stuff from, let's take the sponsor, for example, Adidas. They buy something and then it's out of stock. That's how they're affecting these brands.
Sound like a Dalek there for a second.
Yeah, I know I did, didn't I? They're like, the sponsors are being affected by the fans, and obviously, I don't like that. But who knows with these lot? I don't trust them anyway. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, Dan Ball, before we move on to Arsenal, we're going to move on to you first because we have a little bit of a juicy little lineup for Arsenal. So Watford against Swansea, was it 2-0?
We
done
are
well there?
no longer a championship side. Well, I mean,
So you can be
the
involved
leagues.
within the
Yeah,
actual.
I
Premier
get
League
more.
talk.
I mean, it was confirmed a couple
Yeah,
of weeks ago.
more than a minute.
Um, But yeah, we beat Swansea 2-0. But I'm not also just going to stop there. I'm gonna carry on as well after that.
He's not at it.
Nah. Yeah, it was a very good game, but we played the bit that surprised me. We played a very, very weak team. Foster played his first game in 27. You know, my agenda against Andre Gray. He started Success, who hadn't scored a league goal since 2018. Sema, who's played pretty much every minute this season.
Mm-hmm.
Sanchez, who's come in January and not played a lot of football since. Lazar, who's played no more than 10 professional games in the last 6 years or something. It was a very second string 11, and Gray and Success scored. I don't know how. The two most unlikely scorers. I said to my dad when we was watching the game, if you was to have a full crowd there and went to every single person that walked in, what would you put on Gray and Success both scoring today? You'd get very few people actually willing to put something on.
Yeah.
But
I've got a question as well, very quickly
Yeah,
as well,
go on.
for Watford. I heard a lot of commotion over. I don't know who he is, but I heard a lot of commotion over Ben Wilmot. Apparently, he should have been in the starting 11. What's that about?
Yeah, so I tweeted about it. It was literally like it's a meme team. As I said, it was our second or third string starting 11, and he couldn't get in. He was at Stevenage, played well, so we signed him. He was on the radar of like Spurs and I think Arsenal as well. So we signed him. He's a local lad. Sent him out on loan, and every time he's come back after he's come back to the club and played, he's played well. But
Mm-hmm.
ever since the new manager's come in, he hasn't got a look in. He's been on the bench most weeks, but he hasn't been brought on to hold a game or to show a game out or anything like that. And considering he can play all the way across the back line and hold in midfield, he's got a range of positions to be brought in,
Mhm.
and he just hasn't. And I said he's still young as well. He's in the England under-21s team, I think.
Oh,
He
really?
scored. Yeah, he scored in the last set of internationals. So it's not like it's just dodgy. He's actually in and around the next England team, if you will.
Any way, shape, or form, Watford to get into the England team for you, eh?
Well, Chalobah and Hughes are going to be in there. No, I'm joking. But just before you move on as well, if we've got time, there was a Shavez with his Derby at the bottom of the league and Wayne Rooney. So basically all the four teams at the bottom of the league could have stayed up. I think there was like 1 point in it, and it must have changed hands at least 10 times. And now Derby are officially confirmed to stay up, but today they got hit with the financial fair play. The EFL won a financial fair play court case, so Derby might just get relegated after drawing 3-0 on the final day and staying up by a point. So it could have all been worthless.
It might be, or it might not. It depends because the season's over. I don't know if they're allowed to do it. They might have to start from next season on like minus something.
Yeah, that's what happened to Sheffield. They started on minus 6 points, which is why they got relegated. It's the whole argument of anyone in the Super League should get docked points because the Sheffield fans didn't do anything wrong, and then now they're getting relegated through something that was the owner's fault, not the fans. So, yes, I think the Sheffield owners, they sold the stadium or the training ground like 3 or 4 years ago, and then they got docked this season. But it would have sent them down last season and kept another team up last season as well. And this season, when it's come in, they started off on minus 12. They took it to court and then got it deducted to minus 6. So even then, they weren't consistent with the punishments.
Fair play bollocks
They weren't consistent, and now it's happened with Derby. And then Wickham and Rotherham, who are two tiny clubs, no offence to them, they've done it fairly. They've done it the right way, and they're essentially getting punished if Derby start on minus 12 points next season. Because if they did wrong this season, it should be on this season's league, not next season's.
At the same time, though, just to chip in, imagine all the emotions a Derby fan goes through to staying up, and then the day after finds out
from him due
it's
to
just
this
taken.
fucking money.
Oh yeah, no, as I said, but it's not the fans' fault; it's the owner's fault. But you can't just pick and choose when you get a punishment. Same as I said, the whoever, well, I think it was Wigan went down last season because of the financial fair play stuff for Sheffield, or Bury's fans or Bolton's fans. They've done nothing wrong. They've started their own club up again, and they've been punished. So as much as it is crap, and obviously football is people's weekends and livelihoods, it is becoming fairly commercial. But we've already had this discussion. So
true that.
Yeah.
True indeed. But we move on to a bookie club at the moment. I like to say that'll be the word I use. Arsenal Football Club. Before you chat, Shavez, is what I want to say about Arsenal. I wasn't expecting a 3-0 win. Or was it 3-1 win? Sorry, 3-1 win against West Brom. I wasn't, as I said, I thought my prediction would be 1-1 because I thought classic. Look, we're going to go into this half-hearted because we're out the Europa League now. There's nothing to really live for. There's not live for. That's a bit like far-fetched, but like
Nothing to live for.
yeah.
You're right.
nothing to like hope for. Do you know what I mean? Nothing to like go for. Like, what's the maximum amount of points we can get? Like 7th? I don't know. If
you can
everything
still
goes our way.
qualify. I saw a thing earlier.
I don't want to. I really don't want to. I think a season out of Europe do us more good than bad, if I'm honest, because then
everyone
it
needs
gives us
to
the time.
realise.
Well, for one, yeah, everyone needs to realise, look, this is your fault, and two, it gives us that reset where, like, let's say for example, City, United. You see, United fucking what was it, 4 games in 8 days? Do you see what I mean? Stuff like that. Whereas, like, let's say for example, we're in the Premier League and FA Cup draws and others and stuff like that. We could like just get it spaced out a little bit more, and I reckon it'll be so much better for our players just this season to just like relax and just like take the season with a pinch of salt next season. Do you know what I mean? But actually
Just to
going
add
back
on
to
that
the
quickly,
huh?
just to add, Chelsea spent a season out of Europe and Europa League. We finished 10th, and then the year after we won the league. I'm not saying Arsenal are going to win the league, but it does actually do you good sometimes.
It does, doesn't it? That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
agree.
then there's no like focus to go say you play in this. Like, let's not say one team plays in Europa and one team plays in the Premier League. There's more
Exactly.
just everyone focus on the Premier League this time, which is I think much better. But yeah, back to the result. 3-1. Did you see Williams' free kick? First goal for the club. What
Yeah,
a
it was a beautiful
fucking
free
man.
kick.
Absolute man as well. And everyone's trying to take the piss out of Pepe as well when he scored his goal because he went up to the camera and celebrated. Everyone's like, you scored against West Brom and we're relegated. And you're like, who wouldn't? You're in the Premier League, you scored a banger like that, and you just, do you know what I mean? You would celebrate like that. Of course not. What mong tweets that? Honestly, it's a joke. But other than that, there's nothing really at Mount Chelsea to say. Look, we won 3-1. There's nothing really to say. Yes, come on, we're in the title race now because we're not. We're ninth. We're ninth.
You going to touch on last week Thursday? You going to touch on that, or are you just going to skip over that?
Yeah. Do you want him to cry?
Jeez,
Man
yeah,
cries
I thought I could try and get away from that. Yeah, no, look, all we needed, right, was one fucking goal. One goal. All we needed, and you know, like it just didn't happen. I couldn't believe it. Like all we needed, like Aubameyang hit the post about what 2-3 times. We had so many opportunities, and we just couldn't finish our dinner. It's a joke. Like how many times do you have to be like clinical to actually? Do you know what I mean? That makes no sense. But like,
how clinical do you have to be, or how many chances do you have to?
Yeah,
be?
how many chances do you have to take exactly before you have to say, "There you go, there's one." Do you know what I mean? We're playing against a fucking defender who's about 39. The guy's 13. Was it? I don't even know how old he is. Raul Biel. The guy's got grey fucking hair. Grey hair. And you got Aubameyang who's at about 350 a week, who's just struggling to score. Like, I don't understand.
You called him ancient last week, and you're abusing his age this week. You've just got a major hatred for the VAR defenders.
Yeah. Nah. Look, all credit due to them. Do you know what I mean? They kept us out. They went through. Fair play to them. But it's still so poor from us. Absolute joke. We're in the semi-final of a Europa fucking league. Do you know what I mean? That's our chance to go forward. And yeah, we'll play United. Do you know what I mean? It'll be a half-half game because you'll probably dominate us. But it's more or less a case of we've got to a final again of Euro. We can get our first European trophy. And every player walks onto that pitch half-hearted. Just not like, oh, here we go. Just another match. Do you know what I mean? Just another kind of Thursday evening. Let's get on with it. Just see what happens. Fuck off with that attitude. Honestly, it gets on my fucking nerves. Every single time we get the likes, you just don't give a shit. And it just gets on my nerves. Which leads me on to Shavez. Why are you Arteta in?
Okay, wait, just to confirm, everyone here is Arteta out, right?
100%.
I want him to stay.
Yeah.
I want to finish above Arsenal next season.
I want him to stay for
yes.
the rest of this season. I don't want him
Then
to go
you're
right
Arteta
now.
out. Then you're Arteta out.
Not now.
Okay, but okay, yeah.
In 4 weeks' time, you are.
Okay, cool. I'll tell you why I'm Arteta in, and just to lay the foundation, because just so we know, I'm a Man United fan. I have no affiliation to Arsenal Football Club. I'm not related to Arteta. Don't know him. Okay. First of all, it's Arsenal's fault, the club's fault for hiring someone who has not managed the team. He was a second manager to Pep, right? And if you compare him to Ollie and Frank Lampard, which is what people did when he joined, Lampard managed Derby. Ollie managed Molde, won them a trophy, whatever. Arteta was new, thrown in to Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah.
That's the difference. You can't compare him to Ollie and Lampard.
No, yeah.
He then went ahead and won a trophy before Lampard and Ollie.
Mhm.
And I think that football that you played against Man City and towards the end of that season was unbelievable. You could see that there was a direction that you wanted to go. He basically wants to implement Man City football into Arsenal, right, with the right players, which he doesn't have. But okay, now you go into this season, and I don't know how you invested in the summer. How did you invest? Who did you buy? What did you do to,
They bought well.
excel?
They bought really well. Partey,
I don't
Gabriel.
We bought Partey, yeah. That's all we bought.
Gabriel.
And Gabriel.
And Gabriel, yeah.
Okay, so with Partey and Gabriel, I don't think I wouldn't expect too much of an improvement. I know Thomas Partey.
Yeah, I have to admit, with Partey, he's so not adapted to the Premier League. He's had so much time in the Liga where it's got so bad for him that he's a good footballer, but he needs to understand that there's not any time in the Premier League to kind of turn and go, what do I do now for 5 seconds? Because they're on you straight away. And Gabriel is the same, too many mistakes.
Now we've had this shit week with Arsenal where everyone wants Arteta out, which is fair enough. But now let's say Arteta is sacked today.
Okay.
Arsenal, the managers your fans want, like Allegri, Conte, they're not going to come to Arsenal.
No, exactly. Why would they?
You'll get Eddie Howe. Like, is that what you want?
He's a good manager.
Do you know what? Eddie Howe
is a good manager.
Eddie Howe, I wouldn't.
I hate him.
I'm going to get us all this like shit from me, but I wouldn't mind Eddie Howe, as you said, because you have a manager who's actually managed Premier League football with Bournemouth. And to be fair to him, he did well with them. I'm not doubting that. He actually is a proper good manager. But it seems to be with the Arsenal players, it seems to be that they just have no respect for the manager. Do you know what I mean? Zero respect. So the manager will say, yeah, do this, that, but they still play however they fucking want on the pitch. No. Do you know what I mean? You're getting paid this much to literally learn under me. So you learn under fucking me. Do you know what I mean? Nothing else. Otherwise, get the fuck out. And that's how I think it should be. That's how I think the attitude should be. So that's why I don't know. That's why I think we should have a proper clear out. The proper clear out in the summer.
I fully agree with that. I hate your players. I think your players are embarrassing to Arsenal, and I fully blame your players. I still feel bad for Arteta. I think give Arteta some time, let him back him first of all, and he will make a team that will play the Arsenal way, because there is an Arsenal way. When we used to tune in 5 years ago to Arsenal Football Club, we knew we were watching good football.
Gorgeous football.
And I think he wants to do that. He wants to implement the Pep Guardiola way because he's worked under him. And I think you should back him. He gets a summer with them, gets a season with them. I think he'll be I think Arteta is going to be the most successful manager out of Lampard and Ollie. It might be at Arsenal. If you sack him, it won't be at Arsenal, obviously, but it will be elsewhere. Someone will pick him up.
Yeah.
He's just been thrown in very early.
Yeah, no, I do have to add something onto that once you're done. But
go.
Okay, done. Yeah, okay. Well, it's more or less a case of, as you say, it's more like everyone's trying to blame Arteta for basically the players' fault. They're basically saying Arteta out, get this guy out of my club, this, that, the other. But yes, it's like kind of partially his fault because he's trying to play the Man City way with the wrong players. But as you say, like he's been thrown in the deep end like way too quick, more or less, and he's been given players who are so half-witted where they just don't give a shit. Where it's basically he's like the figurehead. It's like Bojo. Do you know what I mean? It's like blaming fucking Boris Johnson for like all the scientists' fucking like mistakes. Do you know what I mean? It's literally because he's the figurehead.
To the blame. Managers take the blame unnecessarily.
Do you see what I mean? So like the player can make it.
Yeah, I was going to say I do agree with obviously if he sets the team up wrong, like putting Xhaka at left back. But for example, you said in the first game, I didn't watch it, but you conceded to a corner. It's not his fault that someone wasn't picking up a player that's making a run. Arteta can't do anything about that, but he can do something about the way that he
the lineup. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said to him about when Shavez was like Arteta and all that. That's why I said I'm half and half, because like give him to the end of the season to like kind of like mingle with what he's got left. But like, not even that, because then you can't really do anything because you got like 3-4 games left. But like, I'm half and half, because yes, you can see my point of view because we've been knocked out of the Europa League. Do you know what I mean? Stupidly, because we played a stupid fucking way of football. Partially his fault, but then it's mostly the players' fault as well. Yes, I'm in the heat of the moment to say, yeah, it's like both their players' faults. So that's why I'm like steering towards Arteta, but I'm still dead in the middle of both Arteta in and out, because I do understand Arteta has had like all this, as you say, like he's just got thrown into the deep end, and he has won an FA Cup and a Community Shield. He's done well. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Let's not forget what he has done. But that's what I'm saying. So as a person that's stuck in the middle of Arteta in and out, I won't be disappointed with what happens. Let's just say that. Like if he stays, I'm happy. If he goes, all right. Do you know what I mean?
With my
go on, mate. You go first.
So I'm Arteta out. firmly. You said he played well against City the back end of last year, and I do agree with that. And he has done well to win an FA Cup and a Community Shield, but his decision making is awful as a manager.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
not
He's
saying
half and
it's
half,
just
isn't
his
he?
fault.
that
Last 10 minutes against Villarreal, he takes off Aubameyang after hitting the
No,
post.
I
like,
know.
who does
Yeah,
that?
that's just stupid. That's what I'm saying.
He played left back against West Brom.
Mhm.
Amazing game. Great game. I know it's West Brom, but it doesn't matter. But why is Jack left back?
You tell me,
He
mate.
makes a lot of stupid decisions. I know the players are bang average.
He doesn't help his cause, isn't it?
It doesn't help his cause. And I guess also it's the thingy's fault, the board, because Arteta is a young manager. He's not even a manager. He's a second. He's an assistant. They should have gone for experience, but he's won the FA Cup. I know, but he should go. I think.
Each their own. Fair
so
enough.
you say Eddie Howe, right? Let's say Eddie Howe comes in. You want Arsenal? Do you want Arsenal to come?
No, I don't say I want
Eddie.
Eddie. I don't say that's like my right out and out striker, out and out manager. But
we
like,
have to look at it realistically.
accept
You're not
it.
going to get. You're not going to get
Rafa
Allegri.
Benitez is
You're not
perfect.
going to get
Rafa
Conte.
Benitez is the perfect manager for Arsenal because he knows the Premier League. He can steer the ship a bit. I know he's not like a glamorous manager like Allegri or Conte, but you're rebuilding, Elliot. You're in a rebuilding stage after Wenger.
Yeah.
You're gonna have times like this.
We do need to get rid of our deadwood in the summer, though, as
you
well.
need to get, and Arteta has done well to get rid of some deadwood like Mustafi, Kolasinac. But I think you need experience in the Prem You need experience.
Yeah,
I know
100% agree.
what do you guys think of Benitez, or who would you say Eddie Howe was it?
I'd accept
take
anyone
Eddie
with a
Howe
bit
as
of
Benitez.
anyone with a bit of experience in the Premier League. Anyone. Do you know what I mean? Just someone. But then, as I say, that's why I'm half and half because I wouldn't mind him staying as well. So, like, that's what I'm saying. If he does go, I wouldn't mind anyone with a bit of experience. But if he does stay, I'm still cool with it as well. Do you know what I mean?
It looks like he is staying though, isn't he?
That's why I'm fine with that. Yeah, like it's not his fault exactly. He's just a figurehead, as I say. It's a joke. Everyone's just blaming him because they're still heated from the fucking Europa League semi-final. Do you know what I mean? They're still heated. Give him a couple of weeks and they'll be like, oh, he's all right. Do you know what I mean?
No, but I think the season's done now.
Why is it that you want next season in terms of like Champions League?
What I want.
Where do you want to be?
Arsenal as a club. I don't want European football next season. I want to make that clear. I do not want European football. If
of course, but achieve like what position in the league you want to get.
So if we don't get European football next season, I want to hit. And it's obviously so bad because we've dropped so far, but I still want to hit top 6. Because we've got no European football, West Ham's done it. Do you know what I mean? Everton are close to doing it because they haven't got European football. I think if we just avoid it for the next season and focus purely on the Prem, every result we try and get, who's to say we can't get top 6? Do you know
I
what
agree.
mean?
I think that is a reasonable thing for next season.
It's reasonable, but again, it's sad to see that.
That's what I'm saying. It's sad to see we've dropped to this kind of limit, but top 6 is what we've got to kind of aim for, isn't it?
Obviously, just my idea as well, just because we've been waffling on about Arsenal for a while and we're slowly running out of time. Obviously, Shavez just mentioned next season. If this whole Daniel Ek takeover happens and Arteta stays with the team that you've got now, obviously he's not going to be able to come in and just throw 500 million pounds at the club.
Exactly.
Would you be happy, say, if you finish 10th again next season, and then Arteta stays
next season?
Like next year. Say
I wouldn't be happy with
comes
that.
in the summer, doesn't spend any money, and then gives Arteta next summer when he's in.
I would not be happy with that, Daniel. No? Next season's a complete new fucking season.
Arsenal needs to spend like 100 million, I think.
No. We need to sell 100 million. Where's the buffer?
I don't think you'll be able to sell. Who would you sell that would make up 100? Who would you want to sell at?
Sell Pepe?
So I'm going to make a bit. We've got a minute and a half, so I'm going to be quick. I'm going to make a bit of a Buki decision, but I'm going to say Bellerin. I'm going to say David Luiz. Because he's gone. He's gone anyway. He's old. I'm going to say Ceballos, get the fuck out. I'm going to say Willian, just drop him. If I'm honest, I'm going to make a Buki one as well. I don't want Aubameyang. I don't want Aubameyang. I don't want El Neni. I don't want. See, I'm half and half on Pepe. No, I've already said David Luiz. But there's some of the players who I don't want in the club next season. There's no future.
You just want a whole new starting 11.
No, I just want a young, hungry, hopeful fucking team. That's it. But yeah, Shavez. With the predictions, we have updated the predictions table. I'll put it in this video this time to make sure everyone knows what's going on. I am currently fucking first because I'm the best. All right.
It's
Shavez
like La Liga, isn't it? Right now, it's a bit of a race between three people.
Nah, I'm
Amir,
going to
you're
come out on
not-
top, so no. Yeah.
You're not really there, Amir.
No,
But,
I am. Yeah.
with this week, it was a bit of a shambles. No one actually got much right. The only correct score was Dan saying Arsenal 3-1 Watford. So well done, Dan. I continue not to get results right. Don't get the outcome of games right at all. Okay, but moving on to this coming week, there's a lot of games. So United are playing a few games, but the first one's United-Leicester. So United are at home. We're going to be playing a B team, apparently. Leicester are having their annual downfall. Bit of background before you make a
2-2.
prediction.
I reckon 2-2.
Dan?
1-0. 1-0 United.
Wait, if you draw, does that mean City just automatically win the title?
Yeah.
Probably.
No,
yes,
it doesn't.
because goal difference is like,
Oh, yeah.
right? Yeah.
So yeah, so
no,
City win if you draw. So yeah,
no.
2-2.
Not officially, but like, yeah, they did.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
1-0 United.
I'm going to say 1-0 United as well, actually. There's just
All of you
not gonna be
1-0
goals.
United. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
What
it's
do
just
you
going to be a
mean Leicester
laboured,
win and none
tired
got
game.
points?
Just a tired match of football. But Chelsea-Arsenal, next game. Chelsea are at home.
Do
Do you know what? I'll give you my
3-2
reasons
Arsenal. 3-2 with my chest. 3-2 Arsenal.
What? How? But
You
actually, I
watch.
agree with you.
Watch.
What do you mean?
Make a TikTok out of this, Daniel. You watch.
The fixture
Arsenal-
in December.
The last time Arsenal beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea won the Champions League, and I want Chelsea to win the Champions League, so I'm going to go 2-0 to Arsenal.
3-2 Arsenal.
4-1 Chelsea.
What was you going, Dan?
4-1 Chelsea.
I'll go 2-0 Chelsea.
All right. The big game that means nothing at the moment. United-Liverpool,
0-0.
if it goes ahead.
0-0. Yeah.
0-0.
Amir?
1-1.
It's just such
Yeah,
a
I said
boring
4-0.
game, isn't it? Both teams are going to be so fucking defensive and just playing, shall we score, shall we not? Fuck off.
I'll go 1-0 again. Just back-to-back 1-0s for us. Okay. We've got,
Chelsea
wait,
won
the
the cup
FA Cup
final this weekend,
final
next
is...
weekend. Yeah, it's this
The FA
weekend.
Cup final is this weekend. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are we predicting that then? Chelsea-Leicester?
I want Leicester to win
2-1
it.
Leicester.
I
2-1
really,
Leicester.
I want Leicester to win it. It's a 2-1, yeah. 2-1 Leicester. I reckon they'll beast it. Watch.
Thanks,
Vardy will
Maddison.
score. Maddison, he loves it.
I reckon 1-1, Leicester, Iheanacho, penalty.
Yeah, 2-1. That's
in
what
the
I'm saying.
penalty shootout.
It's got to
To
be.
complete
Yeah.
it.
I reckon
Seems
Leicester
immense.
will win it. So 2-1.
2 on the Chelsea.
Okay.
Gonna win it.
Thanks, Amir.
There's always got to be one.
Okay, next. Is that it? Sunday then, there's just none of you lot are playing. Saturday, that Premier League day. Yeah, that's actually it.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's predict the playoffs. When do the playoffs start?
No.
Playoffs.
Well,
Who
we
gives a shit about the playoffs?
Playoffs are good,
No,
but they're not
they're-
happening this
they're
weekend,
actually
Dan.
insane.
So
Yeah,
it's fine.
no,
Yeah, no, the next weekend.
All right,
Yeah.
boys. Well, that's it. I'm gonna keep doing this now for the rest of it. I'm gonna live on the legacy of Jeremy Clarkson. All right. So I'm gonna have to make sure it stays on even past when he's gone. And on that bombshell, it is time to end. Thank you everyone who has watched today. We'll be back next week with an episode on Monday. Hopefully now everyone, obviously these two at the bottom, Shavez and Amir, once they finish university, we can do a few more videos in the future. But until then, obviously we're gonna have to stick until Monday every video. And take care.